Hey, what's up YouTube? Today I'm going to be showing you how to install some Protaper dirt bike handlebars on your GSXR. So I already made my marks and I messed up this one. I had to make a second drill mark. So there. I had to make 2 drill marks, but it's the second one for what my handlebars are going to be set to. So when it sits on there, I already measured everything. Make sure you measure everything twice, otherwise you're going to end up like that, but it doesn't matter because where I'm going to be drilling, the hole's going to be bigger than that. But everything's all lined up now. So the handlebars are going to be sitting like this. And focus. Okay. So my handlebars will pretty much be sitting in there like that, nice and even, straight. And I can use my keys and everything, still adjust my suspension. So yeah, I'm going to show you. Here's the drill bits I'm using right now. I'm using a cheap Walmart drill. I use the small one to make the marks and also to make it so when I put the big bit on, it's not going to slide everywhere. But basically what I did is I got a bit that's about the same size as the bolt, but it's a little bit smaller because when I drill it I want to have it a little bit placed so I can slide the bolt in easy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it with this drill bit and drill right through. But before you do that, you also want to make sure there's nothing underneath this that you're going to stab through. So I got some wires right here that I got to be careful with. And right here I got nothing. So I just got an empty space. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the hole through with this. And yeah, so stay tuned guys. Alright YouTube, change of plans. So the drill bit I had didn't fit in this gun, so I'm using my old, I guess is a step drill bit that I used to drill the oil pan to put my turbo line on, return line. So yeah, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna stop at the second mark. So that's the size of this bolt. So here we go. Alright guys, I drilled the first hole, but I made a little mistake. I was supposed to make sure I can clear my neck. So now when I put the bolt all the way through, it hits on my neck just barely. So I'm going to shave a little bit more this way, just a little bit, and make sure I can clear it. Because these wires are not going to be here, obviously. This is all going to be gone because I'm going to have my handlebars higher. So don't worry about this stuff. So the bolt's going to have to come out right here so it can clear the neck. I'm hitting the neck right now when I put the bolt through. So I made new holes over here, measured it this time perfect, and made sure that it clears the neck when the bolt's going to go through. So I made sure I have enough room. So now we're going to drill that hole out. And I ended up using this bit and it actually worked. So here we go. Alright you guys, so I drilled both of the holes. This time I made sure this one's perfect, so I made sure it cleared. And what I did is I bought a bunch of washers, 1/2 inch, and I just put about, I think there's like 10 in them. 10 on this side and I think there's like 15 on the other. But see, you want to make sure it clears this, because if it doesn't clear that, your bolts aren't going to fit when you tighten it down. So mine hits right here. So what I'm gonna do later on is I'm gonna just cut the bolt right here. I'm gonna cut just like 3 threads off. That way it clears this, because you can see it just barely hits this, just barely. That way I can lock my steering again. But right now I just have it on there. This is not the final, but here's an idea. But now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to take off all this stuff, which this is probably gonna be pain to slide off. I've seen online it's pretty tough. As well as this side, I think it's not so bad because it's on there's a plastic thing inside here. As you can see, it wobbles. I think once I take this off, this should slide off, and then I'll take all these off, this, and yeah. So I already test fitted my handlebars after I drilled both holes. But also make sure guys, I can't like stress this enough, make sure when you put the bolt through, it'll clear. So I'm going to be rerouting my cables and everything. I already drove my bike like this, so I know it works. But I'm gonna reroute my throttle cables because right now that bolt kind of hits it when I turn to the right, and you don't want anything binding while you're turning because that's not safe. But I already have these loosened, so I have this a little bit above. But first I want to take off everything like I said. So for now, we're gonna take everything off the handlebars and then swap it over to the other ones. Alright, stay tuned guys. Alright, so now what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to take all this off. So first I'm gonna start off with this, which is a Phillips Star. Just start taking that off. Start putting the right one. Okay. That wasn't so bad. So, okay. Alright, so this will slide out. So basically what happens is when you tighten it down, it squeezes and this rubber piece expands, and that's how it gets stuck in there. Now we're going to want to take off this, which is probably going to be pretty tough. So I'm using some tire shine. Lift up the lip a little bit. Squirt inside the handle. Alright, okay, as you can see it's starting to like already wiggle. Just keep doing this and it'll start wiggling. Look at that. And then start twisting it back and forth and pull down. Hold your bike. Oh damn. You don't want to pull your bike down. Damn. Okay, that was easier than I thought. So it looks like they had only like some sticky glue that was inside it. So now that you have this off, just wipe it off. Alright, and now we're going to take this piece off, which is probably going to be 2 screws, and this bolt I already loosened. This is for the handlebar. This has to slide off, but first you got to take these off. So I'm going to take off these 2 screws and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so now I'm taking off the triple tree, or not the triple tree, the yoke I think it's called. So loosen the 2 bolts on the side with an Allen key. I'm not sure what size it is, but I just went in my toolbox, grabbed it, put it in here, pop them loose. Take off the middle nut. It's a 36mm with a 1/2 inch drive. Take that off, and then this will start, it'll come loose. And I'll show you the bottom of my thing. So everything's still on there. I left the ignition and all. So here's the bolts. That's how they're set. They're kind of loose right now, so I can move these a little bit. But after you're done, you want to make sure this is nice and tight, nice and flush. You want to have it flat. You don't want to have no gaps or any tilting or anything. So I loosened my clip-on the left hand. So now I'm going to be sliding this one off. That way I can take off the handbrake. This stuff. Just put this to the side. I already scratched my tank up when I was using the drill. One of my bits broke and I was dumb and I scratched the whole thing up. Alright, I gotta loosen that some more. There we go. There's the first clip on. There's your first clip on off. Put that somewhere. Now I'm gonna probably have to start rerouting all this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reroute my clutch. So that's definitely not gonna be able to bleach. Also this, my cables. This is not long enough. Yeah, where my shit's gotta go. But I'm gonna start loosening this side after I take off all this first. So yeah, stay tuned guys. Same thing with the other side. You just want to loosen the Allen key in the back, and then you can slide everything off from right here. Alright, stay tuned. Alright YouTube, so I put the handlebars back on and everything. So basically it's just these 2 bolts, or 2 Allen keys right here. They'll be down here obviously, and you can lift the gas tank back. Let me zoom out a little bit. Alright, I took the seat off, had to take the battery out. Lifted the seat all the way back, and then basically what I did is I started taking all the cables that were like tucked under here and everything. I pulled them all the way out. So here's my clutch cable. I had to pull this all the way out because the clutch cable is actually going out through this side, coming around this like that, and then through here, and basically it didn't give me enough slack for up here. So what I did is took it off, slide the wire all the way back, reverse out, down here under the gas tank. It was back here, pulled it out, and your clutch is right here. So I took the cable off and then fed the wire back down under here, fed it all the way up. Here's the cable, and basically goes straight up to this. Bam. It's pretty easy. I'm gonna try to find something to put on this because this is slipping still. I might put some tape to thicken it. I'm gonna put some masking tape right here. And what I did is for the, because these have little nipples on them right here, but I filed mine down. Zoom in, focus. Yeah, so I filed it down with a file so it's flat. That way I can put it in here nice and straight. I'm going to put tape first so that way when I clamp it down it has something to bite onto. Now for the throttle cable, I almost didn't have enough. Almost. But what I did is I took the cables and fed them all the way around the body like this. And I pulled them out and stretched them a little bit. There's gonna have, these have little clips on it. Break the clips off so it gives you like an extra 2-3 inches. And that's all you need. So now I got it up here. I'm gonna actually drill a hole for this one. I'm not gonna shave it because this is the throttle and I don't want this to be spinning like this. So what you're gonna have to do is, I'm taking some nail polish, white nail polish, and on the nipple, see the nipple right here? This one right here? Put a dot of nail polish, and then what you're gonna do is put a piece of masking tape underneath this, like any dark color, so that way you have white nail polish going on a dark color so it's easy to spot. And then just wherever you're gonna have your handle, put it straight and then push the switch down on it so it makes a mark, and then you're gonna just drill a little hole through it that's the same width of this, and that's it. And that way this will stay steady. And then I'm gonna button everything back up and then take it for a test drive. Alright, stay tuned. Alright guys, this side's all nice and done. Put some masking tape. I would use electrical tape, but use whatever you can, but make sure it's sticky enough. I'm using this for temporary, so, but as you can see, it is really good on there. I'm gonna have to cut also this, which I'll probably be doing tomorrow or another time, but you're gonna want to tape it off and then cut it off and then file it down to make it smooth. But this side's done, so now what I'm working on is this side over here. So what I'm trying to do is, my starter button wire is not long enough. Throttle cable's good now, so I have all this room. But what I'm doing is, I'm using some white nail polish, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to dab a little bit on that slot. It's going to be hard for you to see, but there's a little knob on here. Just put a drop on it, and then line up your handlebar to where you want it. So I want it like that, just so a little bit sticking out. Put a dab, and then line it up, and then carefully push it against the bar and move it slowly, and wherever that mark is, you're going to drill a little hole right there so that you can fit this through. That's it. Stay tuned. Alright you guys, everything is almost done. All I gotta do left is change this brake cable. I have a different one that's a lot longer. This one's only about, I think, 19 inches, which is not long enough. I need about 25 to 30, and I bought a 35 inch just in case I need a little extra slack. But anyways, my starter switch, the cable, it's not long enough. Like, this is the max it gets, and if I turn my steering, it kind of tugs on it, and that's not really good. So what I'm gonna do is bring this cable out from down there to up here to come out like these wires do. So they're going to be poking right out of the tank right here. So this is a nice perfect spot, and that way they have slack, because I'm losing about at least 4 or 5 inches right here, 4 inches, which would be a lot better if it came out this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to take the airbox out. So loosen these 2 Allen keys right here, and then you can lift the tank back. Well, you're going to also have to take off your seat, don't forget. So hopefully you already did that. And lift the tank up, And then after you lift the tank, give me one sec, you're gonna have to remove all these screws. They're Phillips. There's like 2 on the side, 3, okay, 3, 6, and I think 2 more in the back. Yeah, 2 more in the back, and then you got 3 10mm bolts. So take these 3 10mm bolts out. Okay, remove that bracket. Then remove your ECU, I believe, some type of computer. This is my first time taking a motorcycle apart, so sorry, bear with me. Alright, I'm gonna have to remove this wrench, so give me a sec. I'm gonna remove this wrench now. After you remove all those screws and the 2 in the center, you're gonna need a long Phillips to get those out. So, give me one sec. Airbox. There we go. And ta-da! That's what. See. All right. So now once you do that, you're gonna have to remove these Allen keys. Let me get the camera and show you. Let me see what I'm looking at. All right. So, as you can see, there's these Allen keys right here. There's about 2, 4, 6, 8, about 8 of them. And once you remove all of them, these will come loose like that. And you'll be able to lift the entire airbox up. But remember, you gotta unplug all your sensors. So there's a sensor here. There's a hose over in the back of the intake box. There's some in the front too. There's a hose behind here, right here. See this? This one right here. Gotta pull this hose down and then you can lift the whole thing up. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, and we'll get back to that. Alright guys, so here's my starter switch right up here. I followed the wire down, I went through the frame, and it was a pain in the butt. So the wire's gonna sit behind this plastic piece right here. So the wires were coming through here, and I could not push them through because the clips were too big. So what I did is I took a flathead and bent this sideways and pushed down so I can fit the wires underneath it. So I got this one out underneath it. I'm gonna keep it like this too because I like it better tucked like that. So once you get both of these sets, because this set was also over here, get them both over here, and then you can slide them through the middle of the frame. So now I'm gonna pull them through. All right, and I'm gonna feed them through right here, just like this, because the gas tank has a gap right here. That's where it's gonna come out from. So it's gonna feed through here. So then I'll have plenty of slack for it. All right. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna finish wiring it back in there and then put the intake all back over inside, screw it all down. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, I got everything back together. Now I'm gonna take the handlebar back off. I'm gonna drill the hole into the spot I marked and button it all back up. So far I have no binding, which is good. So I made it turn left and right, and I still have plenty of slack. So it's pretty good. I'm happy with it. Everything works. I noticed this is getting now a lot better on there, sticking more. So that's good. Alright, stay tuned guys. Alright, hey YouTube. So this is the final product. This is with the handlebars on. I also cut the windshield about, I think like 3 inches. I just cut it all the way across. First I put a piece of blue tape. I gotta fix it a little bit right here. But put a piece of tape all the way across and then I cut it. And that's how it looks now. I'm gonna have to take these mirrors off because it does hit if I do a full turn. But if I drive it just straight, it's alright. I already took it for a test drive, drove for a few days, and everything's pretty good. Nothing's binding. Everything's nice. Throttle cable, everything works good. If you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know down in the comments below and I'll try to help you out. What I ended up doing with the mirrors, I'm gonna take these off. I ordered some ones that go on the end of the handlebars so it'll stick out and then be a little mirror on the top. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.